Stay together, undivided. We're all that we got. We're all that we got. Let's bring the peace back. In this world it can be hard to believe. We'll never be more than the way they told. Hope is afraid to grow. We will. We will. If we can agree, we can decree prosperity, restoration on hopes. Dead whatever sun's cold. Break this window wide open. But it needs to tell them where it chose. My heart been heavy, I'm home.
And again, we're featuring Faith, Family, and Entertainment here on the community station that gives you more. Again, good afternoon. Again, station steward Chris Thomas here in the studio, The Voice 17104, and it gives us great honor and great joy to present to some, introduce to others. Again, Brother Mike Tucker, community activist, relocating to the Harrisburg area. But today we're here to talk about some alleged injustice in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. So we're going to dig right into it. I'd like to introduce to our listening audience Brother Mike Tucker. Brother Mike, welcome to the studio, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's dig right into the heart of the matter, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about this alleged misjustice, sir, please and thank you.
Absolutely. So my name is Mike Tucker. I'm a community activist from New York City. I got into this line of work, unfortunately, because my oldest son was killed in 2005 by a New York City police officer. So this November will make 19 years since I've been fighting for justice for families who've been affected by police brutality, but also got into dealing with gun violence issues in the 5 boroughs within New York City. And this is what I do.
All right. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the background of this alleged injustice that took place in Camp Hill? When did it take place, and what exactly happened, sir?
All right. So before I get into the incident real quick, I just want to thank President Alice of the Harrisburg NAACP and his staff, because without them, I don't know what my family or myself would have done, because they've been very supportive. I would also like to thank Miss Angel Fox from Representative Patty Kim's office, because I reached out to them right away and they were able to help me out as well. I want to thank Miss Sydney from one of the elected officials' offices that I work with up in New York, because they were able to help me and assist me in getting in touch with Patty Kim's office. So this incident actually took place last year, July 2nd. I was visiting the PA area, for the 4th of July weekend. Earlier that day, my son had got into a car accident and was sent to the hospital in Camp Hill. As his mother and my son-in-law was on their way to the hospital, my daughter had a seizure, and I had to call them and tell them to come back because she had a seizure. So I was transported to the hospital by EMS. I was given instructions on what I needed to do to get a visitor's pass. I was told by the EMS worker that transported us there to go into the front of the hospital and ask for a visitor's pass.
Okay.
When I got into the front of the hospital, I encountered a receptionist. I explained to her why I was there, and she informed me that I needed to wait 5 or 10 minutes and then I would be allowed to see my daughter.
Okay.
Which I did. After about 5 or 10 minutes, I went back for a second time. She told me that my daughter, the first time she told me my daughter wasn't in the system, wait a few minutes. Second time I went back, she told me that my daughter was in the system, wait about another 5 or 10 minutes and someone would take me back, which I did. So, I'm a father, my nerves is shot, my son is in the hospital, my daughter's in the hospital after having a seizure. And at that point, she hadn't had one for almost 10 years. So this was real alarming and troubling to me. So I was really worried about her and concerned about both of my kids. I was just worried about what was going on and just wanted to be able to understand what was happening and be there to support both of them. But mainly my daughter, because she was dealing with the seizure issue. And the third time that I went back, I was told again that, just relax. Somebody would take you, and it wasn't relaxed. It was just, you still have to wait a few minutes, but somebody would take you back.
Yes.
So at this point, I figured something was wrong, and I requested to see someone from patient relations.
Okay.
At that time, I was the receptionist told me that she would have somebody from patient relations come and talk to me. So for whatever reason, I said it was God tapping me on my shoulder. I just got up and walked around the hospital, which was leading to the exit out the hospital. And the emergency room door is right there. There's an emergency room door maybe about 100 feet in front of the entrance to the emergency room.
Okay.
I noticed the young lady that I was talking to, the receptionist, was talking to police. And so I just pulled out, there's a video of this whole situation. I pulled out my phone and I said, let me record this. So I recorded her talking to them. And when she finished talking to them, she walked back to her office. I had a conversation with her about, why did she call the police on me? I was just trying to see information. They told me that I would be allowed to see my daughter, but no one has came and seen me or taken me back to see her. At that time, I explained that I wanted to see patient relations again. She informed me that I would be able to see patient relations. She said, I'm going to call them. I said, now can I see them? She said, yes, you can. About 5 minutes later, the officers that she was talking to came out. When they came out, I found out that they wasn't police officer, they was hospital security.
Okay.
They asked me what was the problem. My son-in-law was standing there. And at that point, I was still recording. They told me, you cannot record in this hospital. My son-in-law had a conversation and said, yes, he can. It's a public hospital. They informed us at that time that it was a private hospital.
Okay.
I stopped my son-in-law and I said, let me speak. I explained to them the only reason that I was recording was for my protection and also to document what was going on. So if there was anything that happened, I have proof of the situation.
Sure.
So I finished talking to them. The head of security came out and he told me, I said, well, he asked what the problem was. I explained to him the same thing. He asked me, when I said that I wanted to speak to someone from patient relations, he said, no, you can speak to me. I said, no, you're not patient relations, you're the head of security.
Sure.
At that time, he told me that he would allow me back into the hospital, but only if I would erase the video proving what happened.
Understood.
And that was real troubling and alarming to me, because why would I erase my proof proving what actually took place here, just in case something happened and y'all say something different happened.
Sure.
So I refused to do that. At that time, the police came. When the police came, I still had stopped recording because I didn't want to do anything to violate for them to have any reason to arrest me or anything like that. What was real troubling when the police came is that there was a hospital employee that told the police that I tried to break into the emergency room door.
Wow. Wow.
That never took place.
Wow.
And I never said that. And so at that point, I said, y'all trying to get me killed. Because you put me into a situation that if these cops decided that they wanted to arrest me and I resisted, it
Yes,
could have
sir.
turned into a deadly situation.
Sure.
Unfortunately, because my background and my understanding of situations like that, I didn't let it get that far.
Understood.
The police department told me that I would be allowed to go back into the hospital, and as I was heading back into the hospital, they had a conversation with the head of security, and the head of security said something to them, and then they told me I had 5 minutes to get off the property or I would be arrested.
Okay.
The police officers literally stepped in my face and said this to me. So I had my son-in-law drive me back to his house, and it was just, like I said, a situation that didn't have to be. And my question is this how people are treated at this hospital?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then my bigger question is is what's being done to ensure that this never happens to nobody else.
Sure.
So the reason that I'm here is basically to tell your listening audience what happened to me, and maybe somebody in their family experienced this. My call to action is for your community, your listeners, to call to the governor's office, the attorney general's office, and ask them to really investigate this.
Sure.
I don't live here. I'm visiting here.
Yes, sir.
And I should not be treated this way. I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't loud. I wasn't cursing. I didn't disrespect anybody. I was concerned about my children.
Yes,
I was
sir.
concerned about my daughter who had just had a seizure. And as I said, at that point, she hadn't had one in over 10 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, is there a sign posted about the video, not recording video somewhere in the hospital? So you
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
The security officers that I was talking to, they didn't say that. They just said that you can't record in this hospital. It's a private hospital. And as I said, the reason that I asked for patient relations is because, like I said, I'm visiting.
Yes,
so
sir.
if I don't know something, that is
Sure.
their job to explain it, but also to rectify the situation within the hospital so I would be able to see my child.
Okay.
Not the cops called on me, not a hospital staff member saying that I did something that I didn't do,
Sure.
and definitely not calling the cops.
Sure. Now, I'm sure they had some kind of video. Did they have some kind of video going?
They
as
have
well?
they have their video from the hospital, their surveillance cameras, and as I said, my video accompanied with their video, accompanied with the police body cam, and also the security will prove everything that I'm saying is right.
Sure. So, what did they book you to take you downtown? Or
They
how did
didn't.
that
They
work out?
kicked me off the property. I didn't
Okay.
allow it to get to that point
Okay.
because if they arrest me, then my phone would have been confiscated. I
Yes,
would have
sir.
never saw it again.
Understood.
So this incident would have never been documented.
Okay.
Because they control what cameras that run in the hospital.
Yes, sir.
So only thing that I had was my word in this video proving what actually took place.
Now, what has your lawyer said about the video? Can that be shown or not at the present time?
At the present time, he, as I told you, I'm waiting to hear back from
Okay,
him in regards to that. But I want to have a follow-up. I just wanted to start the conversation, let people know what actually happened, and ask them to, as I said, request the Attorney General to look into this. One of the things that I said when I first started is President Allen from the NAACP
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
here in Harrisburg. They've been working with me and supporting me, and it's not just here. Every NAACP around the country knows about this incident. So I'm looking to do an event with them to highlight this as well.
Okay. So now, who all have you reached out to? I know you mentioned Representative Patty Kim, Reverend
Yes.
Franklin Allen. Is there anyone else, some of the other NAACPs that you've already reached out to
Just-
concerning this?
Just reached out to, as I said, President Allen, and he's been reaching out to everybody else. And as I said, I don't know what I would have done without his office and his staff, supporting me and understanding the importance of this. As I said, I'm visiting.
Yes,
This
sir.
shouldn't happen to anybody, anywhere, at any given time.
Understood. Understood. So now, your call to action is for the community. Would that include the Harrisburg community, or just those in Camp Hill?
That everybody.
Okay.
Anybody
Sure.
who feels that injustice shouldn't happen to anybody,
Understood.
I'm asking for them, their call to action. As I said, reach out, make calls to the Attorney General's office, the governor's office, which I did too, reached out to them. I'm trying to get a meeting.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to sit down and have a conversation. As I said, I'm a visiting person to your town, your community. And this is what I experienced. And I always say things happen to me for a reason, and it's because what I deal with.
Yes, sir.
This will bring the spotlight on a situation like this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think it was Dr. King that said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
Exactly.
So I agree wholeheartedly that this alleged injustice should be looking into and taken seriously. It shouldn't be taken lightly, because this should not happen, not only to an outsider but to anyone altogether. So now, what are your next plans of attack moving forward here from here?
My next plans of attack is, like I said, to speak to the people that make the laws in this town, in the Harrisburg area, in the Camp Hill area, to get them to really take this serious. You know, we can't have this going on. We can't have people being accused of things and put into situations where they could have been arrested, where it could have went a different way. Because as I said, imagine if they tried to arrest me. I'm fighting for my rights. I didn't do nothing wrong. And they say, oh, he resisted or something like that. Just thank God, as I said, because of who I am and I understand the significance of situations and I deal with situations like this, I know how to handle myself. But not everybody is given that opportunity or that fortunate to be able to convey their rights and understand a situation like this can turn at any given second.
Sure, understood. Now, what's the progress on your daughter? Is she okay now?
She, and this is the crazy thing, ever since that incident happened, my daughter has been having seizures basically maybe once a month. And so we're still trying to figure out what brought it on.
Sure.
You know, she's still going to the doctor.
Yes,
they increased her medication.
Sure.
But, you know, it's a worrying situation. You know, like I said, I'm worried about my daughter and trying to figure out what's going on and just praying that she gets better.
Okay. Now, was she aware of what was going on? Probably
no,
not.
my daughter is not. Happening. She's nonverbal. And
okay,
see, that's the other. That's the other part of
yes,
this
sir. Yes,
is that she can't speak for herself.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you know, so I'm her voice.
Understood.
Her mother's her voice.
Sure.
You know, we have to speak on her behalf.
Okay. Excellent. Now, do you have a potential contact information if someone wants to reach out to you with maybe some suggestions or maybe reach out to you for some potential support that they can get a hold of you either through social media, email?
Yes, they can email me. Ask anybody, the subject line, you can put support, and you can email me at laythegunsdown@yahoo.com. That's LaytheGunsDown@yahoo.com. That's the best way to reach me.
Excellent.
It's just in the, like I said, in the subject line, just put support.
Sure. Understood. Well, we definitely appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule to join us here in the studio, because this could happen to anyone, anywhere at any given time, and it could escalate to something serious, more serious, as we've seen in the news and around our city as well. So anything that I may have missed that you want to potentially uncover or share with our listeners and viewers?
Well, as I said, the most important thing is that this situation happened. I have the proof of what took place. And, you know, I just want to make sure that it's looked into thoroughly. I don't want it to just go by or just happen. We got to forget about it and move on. You know, this is how problems like this get worse, because it's not taken serious.
Understood.
And so, as I said, you know, it was proven that I was at the hospital. I have the proof of what actually happened. I have the video with the conversation with me and the receptionist. I have most of the conversation with me and the security. The rest of the conversation is on the police body cam. You have the cameras from the hospital. So it's not that I'm lying. You know, this is fact that this actually took place. And what needs to happen now is, like I said, we need a full investigation. You know, as I said, I want the governor to look into it. I want the attorney general to look into it, because this is on their watch.
Sure. So if they would rerun their footage on their end, they would see you near the emergency door doing what they alleged that you did.
They would see me, as I said, when I noticed she was talking to the police, as I thought at that time, but they were security, me pulling my phone out my pocket and recording.
Okay.
Everything is right there. It's cameras right there.
Sure, understood. Well, Mike, again, our heart goes out to you. Again, you have our support. We look forward potentially in another couple weeks once you get some further developments concerning this matter coming back and doing a follow-up or where we're at and what we need to do moving forward. I believe we're going to conclude the interview with a song entitled "We'll Make It Through." What can you tell us about this song? Because I believe you're very instrumental in creating it.
Yes, so I was co-writer on this song. This song was actually recorded and produced after George Floyd was killed, because there was so much going on, and it wasn't him, it was Mr. Castillo and Sandra Bland, so many different people that had lost their life in a short span of time to police brutality. And I worked with former Mayor Bill de Blasio from New York City, and when they painted Black Lives Matter, I was instrumental into making that happen in all 5 boroughs.
Wow.
And so we wanted to do something to send a little bit of relief, not only to the families that were dealing with police brutality, families who had lost loved ones to any kind of violence, but also give people something to believe and know that no matter what, we'll make it through.
Wow, that's powerful. And who's the artist? And
The artist, his name is Venor Yard. Y'all can look him up on Instagram. Venor Yard, VENOR, last name YARD. And you can look up the song that was played first, which was "Bring the Peace Back."
Yes, sir.
When you look that video up, every person, unfortunately, that's in that video is dead, a victim of gun violence. Even a 1-year-old baby,
Yes, sir.
DeVell Gardner Jr., he was killed. I worked with his family, looked them up. Felicia Gordon, DeVell Gardner Sr., they lost their 1-year-old baby. This was a big case that was in New York City. The 2 young men that was a part of this about 2 months ago just got sentenced. One person got 40 years to life, the other person got 50 years. That still is not bringing back these people, child. As I tell people all the time, do what we can do today so we don't have to worry about gun violence tomorrow.
That's powerful. Again, there has been an increase of gun violence, unfortunately, in the city of Harrisburg. I believe 2 youth in the past week or 2 were killed unnecessarily in the city of Harrisburg. So, again, our hearts go out, and we thank you for co-creating, again, this wonderful selection. We're going to conclude our interview with, so one more time, your contact information if someone wants to reach out to you, bro.
Once again, that's laythegunsdown@yahoo.com, LAYTHEGUNSDOWN
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you.
We'll have you back for a follow-up soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Know that it might be hard to believe sometime, but we'll make it through. We'll make it through. Tough times don't last forever. As long as we stick together, we make it through. We'll make it through. Remember little boys, little girls, no weapon formed in this world shall. We will make it through. We'll make it through. Mother, father, sister, brother, yeah, we'll make it through. Dedicated to you and you and you. Know that it might be hard to believe sometime, but we'll make it through. Tough times don't last forever. As long as we stick together, we little boys, little girls. No weapon formed in this world shall. We will make it through. Mother, father, sister, brother, yeah, we'll make it through.